Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever this recording finds you. I'm your host, Jason. We are back with another episode. I should have worn red. The title is Red versus Red in Liverpool. I've got a bit of red in the background here. I'm joined by my trusted sidekick, Ziad. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, right, bro. I mean, I went with blue to keep it neutral.
No, fair play. Always have to have a neutral guy. And yeah, we've got a special guest. He's moved out from the chat, guys. It wasn't a bot. People thought Asfar was a bot because the same message came every week. The champ is here. At the right time, just as we were talking about Liverpool, you would come in. Asfar, welcome to the channel. How are you doing, brother?
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Ronnie. Thanks, Adi. Yeah, the champ is here. Been a bit of a rough start to the season for Liverpool. 3 losses in a row, but we move, and hopefully for the next few months, Liverpool will start, sticking out with more results, and then from January onwards, we'll see the proper champions start to come alive again.
No, that's fair play. That's fair play. Look, we've got a jam-packed episode today. We've got a few matters to discuss. Obviously, World Cup qualifiers in full swing. We've got exciting news. Obviously, if you don't know, you must be living under a rock. South Africa have qualified for the World Cup, guys. We're going. That's next year. But for now, we'll be doing that. We'll be talking about Liverpool, Man United, massive clash, and then we're just gonna have a little five-a-side game. We've got at the end. It's not going to be a live game where you're not going to a five-a-side court. We're going to pick a five-a-side team. So those that are in the chat, it seems like it's Mubin and Mubin and Mubin and Mubin. You guys just put together a team. As is customary, though, Asfar, we got to start you as your first-time guest. We have to give you a little bit of a icebreaker, and I purposely don't. We purposely don't send this question beforehand because we like to see people sweat a bit. If you could change one rule in football, right? What would it be and why?
One rule in football.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good question. Flipping hell. It's actually a very tough question now. I think it would be the diving for me. If I could take that rule and the refs could be a bit more seriousness with the diving. I think there's a lot of prima donnas on the field.
Yeah.
I know Zadie played with football with Zadie a couple of times. I know if Zadie tackles you, you get up and you play on. There's no such thing as laying on the floor and crying out. You just get up and you play. So if there's one rule, I mean, can you call it a rule? I don't know. I think diving is more. I think the refs need to be a bit more serious about diving, and I think they need to let the game flow more, just so that the game becomes a bit more better, man. Guys falling for little slaps on the wrist, touching the faces, clutching their legs when they were hit in the back. I don't know if that's a rule, but that's one thing I hate about football at the moment. It's just too much falling, too much prima donnas. There's no more Vinnie Jones in the game, if I can call it like that.
Vinnie Jones is on the call with us. Yes, yeah. Do we accept that answer? Is that going to fly today?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, when it comes to rules, I think we spoke about this recently, about the flopping, the falling, the diving. With Keith Hackett, the referee we had on last week. And ultimately, it's hard in the game, but I think retroactively, there should be some punishments that could be levied, maybe some sort of demerit system or something, because you can find these guys, but I mean, the money these guys make, the fines don't affect them. So it's generally just missing games which affects them the most. So some demerit system, you accumulate, like you get the 5 yellow cards, you miss a game. So hey, we have a late entry into the box. Who's pulling in here?
My goodness.
In the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble, guys. This is what we can guarantee. Certain episodes, we have a little money in the bank clash. We see the champ is here. We have somebody trying to contend for the title. Mubin, Amadialo, where's your mace?
I was only let this man bask in the glory alone. This is mal.
Welcome. How's it going, Mubin? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good, and you guys?
No, all good, man. All good. Look, this wasn't on the script. And normally they say a script writer couldn't even write that. But literally, Mubin wasn't meant to be on today's episode. So happy to have you here. We're going to jump right in. We've now got a complement of serious, unserious, and the champ. So we'll jump right in. Gents, and I'm going to start with Aswar. Have you been able to catch any of the World Cup qualifiers? Obviously, South Africa qualifying yesterday for the first World Cup in 16 years. We're not hosting it, so this is like a big deal for us. Have you been catching any of the qualifiers? Did you catch yesterday's game?
To be honest with you, the only World Cup qualifiers I have been following is Bafana. I haven't really been following Europe's qualifying, apart from England, who I support. I know they're the first European team to qualify. But yeah, I've been following mostly the African nations. Bafana, great. Finally in the World Cup after 23 years. Can't count 2010, doesn't really count. That is Specs in Bunchies. We call that Specs in Bunchies. So you can't really count 2010. But no, since 2002, Korea, so I'm happy. Hugo Bruce bringing life back to South African football. And I think I heard in his post-match interview talking about the retirement after the World Cup. So hopefully a succession plan in place there for rest of the coaches coming in. But that's part of Bafana, the only one I've been following. And I think I saw something about Cape Verde, first time qualifying for the World Cup ever. So some nice surprises in the African teams qualifying. But just happy Bafana's in.
I don't know if you know Sadiq Khan, but let's leave him there. Now, absolutely amazing stuff to hear. And I think what better way? Sorry, it's getting. What better way?
While Jason is getting composed, I think with Bafana, obviously all of us South Africans on the show, it's great news for us to qualify. We'll look past the fact that the World Cup is expanded, which increases our chances of qualifying, but take nothing away from them. They came out of a group that had Nigeria, and Nigeria is a traditional powerhouse of Africa. So to come out of that group, even with a 3-point deduction for fielding a ineligible player, we had to make it difficult for ourselves. Really, really good. Obviously, Cape Verde, as far mentioned, a couple of other teams qualified from Africa already. We've got Ghana, we've got Senegal, we've got Ivory Coast, Morocco, Egypt. So you got Mo Salah going to the World Cup, which is pretty good. Plus, I think they have AFCON, so it'll keep him nice and busy. Maybe dent Liverpool a little there, but otherwise, it's really exciting as an African fan to see all these teams qualify. Algeria. I think there's a chance one of these African teams can really go far, so it's quite exciting.
No, for sure. Look, the format changes with the expansion. So the qualifying format, rather, it was a bit weird. Certain regions having to play, X amount of games with other teams. But yeah, like you say, to have so many African teams qualified already before the other Europeans sort of get in, it kind of bodes well. It kind of sets up for an exciting time. Mubin, any specific team that you were watching? Canada, Mexico, USA, Specs and Bunchies, as Asfar calls it.
Uzbekistan.
Support England as well. So been following them, but most of my attention was obviously on the African qualifying regions, CAF. Because Bafana was obviously in a sort of a strong position for most of the qualifying rounds, and then obviously made work a bit hard for them. But shocked that they came through, and I obviously watched the game last night, and I mean, brilliant performance. The first 2 goals were absolute stunners as well. So I think that they can carry through that form into the World Cup. Obviously, we don't know what the groups are like, but I think it will stand them in good stead.
Yeah. I think it speaks wonders to the sort of development that's gone in, and maybe it's not across all the platforms, maybe it's not across all of the sporting codes, but definitely we've seen a rise in good football being played at all of the levels. Maybe a bit more emphasis needs to be placed on the women's game, but the juniors, they are doing well. The actual national team looks like it has some sort of a direction to it. I think what better way for Hugo Bross to just leave his coaching career with a World Cup win? Like, I mean, I think it has to be the script writers might not have written Mubin coming in late, but they can write something for Hugo Boss. Yeah, Ziad, we're talking about England qualifying, the only European team, so that means there's still, as it stands, there are 28 out of 48 teams that have qualified already, and I think a whole host of them come from Europe. Yeah, are there any surprises for you? Are there any concerns or things to look out
Look,
for?
with
Maybe.
Europe still quite busy with their qualification stuff. So most of the teams that qualified have come out of Africa so far. We've got the teams like Japan, New Zealand, a lot of the what you call the Brazil, Argentina, that South American region,
American contingent, yeah.
CONMEBOL, I think. A lot of those teams have qualified already. So just waiting now for Europe, and it looks like again Italy struggling. They might not qualify. Their chances are quite slim. Germany's obviously looking good. Sweden have been bad. I think they just fired their coach.
Jean Del Thomason.
John Del Thomason. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was a bit of a surprise that Sweden didn't do too well. Norway's looking good. I think they're coming into their own now. So it could be interesting, obviously, once all this is confirmed. I think Turkey would be an interesting team as well. But with the format, there is a interconfederate, or what's the right word? Interconfederation playoff that's also in the mix. So it's because I saw like Qatar beat UAE yesterday. So Qatar go through, and then UAE play Saudi for a spot in this playoffs where they play against teams from other regions. So there's this one team that's interesting to keep an eye on. It's from the Asia Pacific region called New Caledonia. So they finished second to New Zealand, I think, and that's Samoa and all those type of teams. And they actually have a chance. They're a couple of wins away from qualifying for the World Cup because Australia play with Asia, right? They don't play in that region. So they might actually be an interesting team. And that's the fun of a World Cup, man. Like, a lot of people are complaining about the size of it, but for me, it's just that magic of having these teams in, even if they don't achieve anything. It's about a global game, and by the end of it, you'll get your big teams playing each other, but it's that fairy tale runs. Cape Verde, maybe a New Caledonia, you got Uzbekistan qualifying. It's just fun to see these teams come onto the big stage, and we get to see them play.
I think I saw Jordan also qualified.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So I'm not sure that's the first for them.
Iran, Qatar, like I think there's a whole host of teams, and I think that's what the expansion does. We are not sure whether it's going to be the most favorable in years where we don't qualify, but for now, I don't think anything can get our spirits down. So everybody else must do what they have to do. We've secured our spot.
We threw it, baby.
So everything else is good luck. But thankfully we're not having to. It was very close. Yes,
like Zadi said, that intercontinent playing. I see Nigeria still has to play. I mean, I think they're the second best. I think it's 4 second best teams within Africa region. They play against each other, and then from there they then have a final, and then whoever wins that final goes into the
Nigeria is one of those teams, and Cameroon. I work with someone from Cameroon, so he's always coming to complain that they should have Mbappe in their team, and they should have, he just lists all these French players who are actually from Cameroon, and they should be playing for them. But he's a bit worried. He's a bit worried they might not make it through, but they have a chance. So, and they got the best goalkeeper, right, in the world, Andre Onana.
I'm gonna leave that to his teammate there, Mubin Ahmad, to confirm. It definitely is tough to watch. Lots of teams. I think Portugal were going good until the Liverpool man Dominic Szoboszlai chopped him at the knee a bit last night.
90th minute.
90th minute dagger. Definitely quite a few teams that are on the fringe, and will probably make up the compliments. I don't think there'll be too many upsets, but there's definitely going to be some. We move on to the mouth-watering clash. Obviously, Premier League's back. We are happy that Bafana qualified, but we're happy that it means the international break is done. So we're going back into the Premier League, and a very busy period before Unfortunately, 4 weeks' time, there's another international break. But we've got some Champions League football coming up, and now we've also got Liverpool versus Man United. So, Mohamed Bray, welcome. Just before I get to the question, as we go into Anfield, I don't think it's ever. We've had many situations where the game before the Liverpool Man United derby, Liverpool have lost and Man United have won. In recent times, it hasn't been as common an occurrence. As far as you started the show and you gave a bit of a description of how you thought the season's gone. What are your feelings going into this game, especially with the 3 losses on the trot?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm actually not. I'm positive, but I'm not as positive as previous times.
Ooh, okay.
I actually feel that United have a chance to take a win here, 2-1 win, with the way Liverpool is playing. Yes, it's Anfield, the fortress. Maybe I'm being negative, but just the way Liverpool is playing at the moment, we scraped first 5 games. We scraped through completely. I think it was great. I think Arsenal is probably our best game we played all season. In terms of defensively, took a screamer from Szoboszlai to score, but after that, it's been absolute horrific to watch. No football's been played. Guys are not gelling. So I honestly think I would love to say a 3-0 win or 3-1 win to Liverpool, but I struggle to see us pulling a big margin win here. It's going to be a tough game.
This is a standard Asfar playbook. He's always negative, nervous. His team is bad. They can't win or whatever. And when they win, in the champ is here. So, he's got shades of the Riaz playbook, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But he doesn't sit on the fence. He sits on the other side of the fence, where the glass looks half empty. But when they put it on the table, then it's half full.
Optical illusions.
No, I don't think it's that. I'll be honest with you. Okay, sometimes when I watch a game as a fan, but then I also remember there's a coach in me that knows, okay, we have to take time.
Yeah,
this needs to happen, that needs to happen. So I guess I'm being very realistic. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think I'm going for Liverpool win, but it's going to be tough. It could go both ways also as well at the same time.
Yeah. Nah, that's fair. Mubin, what are your thoughts on that one?
I mean, if you see my comments, I agree. We'll probably win 2-1. I think it's probably no better time to play Liverpool than now. I mean, they sort of wouldn't call it a slump. Maybe it's the lack of confidence. Maybe some chemistry not adding up in the change room or the tactics and so forth. So and I wouldn't say we on an upward trajectory, but we've got a bit of hope and momentum on our side, given our last couple of games. So it's going to make for an interesting clash, and I think it will be probably a tighter affair than in the recent derbies that have gone past. So I think we will just edge it 2-1.
No, that's fair. Zadi, as the neutral here, as we're gonna let these guys box a bit later, what are your thoughts on the game? And also, are we seeing something more from Wirtz and Isak, or is it still give the expensive guys more time?
It's rough. It's rough to go in on those two. But just on the game itself, like listening to them, I think Mubin made a good point or interesting point about now being a good time to play Liverpool. Obviously, coming off those losses, and United have the 1 win, because obviously they don't win consecutive games. Otherwise, the guy can make an appointment at the barber. But I actually think the international break was bad. Like, worse for United than Liverpool. It actually was good for Liverpool because their players could go away and not think about those losses, man. Focus on the international teams and whatever they have to play for. I mean, Salah obviously qualified with Egypt, which is massive. So he's going to come back with a bit of a bounce. So you guys mentioned Szoboszlai did something against Portugal. So, a couple of guys on the up. I don't know if United have players that play international.
Yeah,
Mbumo
Diallo had a wonder strike last night.
Mbumo played against Mauritius, against Jason Fair. That bruh.
Jason Fair.
They played against Mauritius, so that's good practice for playing Liverpool. But on the serious note, I think Liverpool probably benefit a little more from the break, just to regroup and come back. I think they'll want to protect Anfield, so I'm feeling that Liverpool probably come out on top here. But let's see with where United is, they got nothing to lose, man. They can come out and play. Everyone expects him to lose anyway. So if you take that and channel that, you can actually get a better result because there's no expectation. But yeah, I think Liverpool will come out on top. Vert, I don't know. I mean, Jurgen Klopp came out to support him, to say he's a once in a generation talent or whatever. I mean, if you're paying 100+ for a guy, I hope he's once in a generation. Isak is good, man. We saw what he did at Newcastle, but it's like with Grealish, where if you're not the center of everything, it's very different for you. So at Newcastle, it's all about him. He needs to score the hat-tricks. He needs to do everything. But at Liverpool, you're going to share the goals, and it's a more of a mindset shift than anything. Am I going to be comfortable giving Ekitike more balls so that he can put it in? It's the same with Salah, right? Like, is he happy assisting as much or whatever the case is? So I don't think you're going to get the match-winning performances from those two just yet. But I think Salah steps up because he's got maybe 6 to 8 weeks before he jets off to AFCON. So I think he's going to have a good stint here before he heads off.
No, fair play. Look, it's also Salah hasn't shown us the best form, and that's because, like we say, they're in a bit of a transition phase, if we can say it. That's a term that's been thrown around. You sign so many players, you have to now incorporate them, you have to then figure out how you're going to put this star-studded front line into motion. But we can't also overlook Salah's record against United. So despite all the poor form that he's shown, I think he always seems to enjoy this game a bit more, which is, it must be like a personal thing, man. They must have wronged his family centuries ago, and now it's, this is a generational hate. But as far, do you back Salah to come right and all those other guys? Like, do you agree with Zadie that the break worked better for them, for like Liverpool, than it did United with their momentum, and it's giving you guys maybe slots some more time to analyze where things have gone wrong and maybe implement something new?
It's funny when Zadie mentioned that most of the Liverpool players that played actually had good games. I think Cody Gakpo scored 2 goals. Salah scored in his qualifier. Andy Robertson, Scotland, led their team to victory. Szoboszlai scored. McAllister, he scored for Argentina 2 goals. So these players are picking up good form at international break, and like boosting with confidence. I just think Slot needs to find the right formation, or just needs to find the right team for them to click and for them to start scoring. So yes, I do think the international break will has benefited us. And I actually think we'll be a bit more fresh. So yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of a good thing for us.
Yeah. No, for sure. There, Amisa's comment, Hoyland scored, but we let him go. We also knew that was going to happen, right? And you don't want it to turn into that case for like Liverpool, where the guys don't play liquor, then they go to their national team, have the best of time, score as many goals as they need to do what they need to do, and then they come back and they can't do that. Mubin, Liverpool's, I can't remember the Champions League game, but as far as I know, I think it was at home against Atletico Madrid, right? We possibly might have dropped points there, but the last 2 losses in the Premier League have been away. So going to Anfield, which hasn't been the most exciting hunting ground for United. Last game there was a 2-2 draw. Then there was a 0-0 draw, and then obviously that 7-0, which was like 2 odd years ago. Where do you think the battle's going to get won? Is it just a matter of the crowd is going to be up for it, or is there a specific area that United can target that you think that's where we can hit Liverpool hard?
So if I can point out the area to talk to, probably be up front for us um, with our attack, considering the vulnerability of Liverpool's defense. You know, guys that defend with their bums out and do some weird Pilates, yoga, Bollywood
Name and shame.
maneuvers. I don't
Name and
know.
shame.
So yeah, I think there's a bit of a vulnerability at the back by Liverpool, and um, I think up front for us, with Mbuma's pace and strength and power, Cunha's sort of guile and creativity. Sesko bagged a couple this season already. I think that's obviously, if you want to win the game, you've got to score goals, and I think that's where we can win. Our midfield is obviously still questionable, whereas our defense has obviously looked much better than in recent seasons. So our front is where we're going to, if we want to win the game, is where we have the poise, the power to do so.
No, that's fair.
Jason, hold on, man. When you asked Mobin that question, I heard you slip. You said, "Where can we?" Talking about United. So I know you're not married yet. and
Where
your
can
wedding is
we
only
look
next
out
year.
for a good battle?
He's asking,
As
he's
in the-
You
asking
start
where can
referring to
we?
United as we.
Yeah.
I'm worried
He-
about you. You
He's
crossed
asking
over
where.
already.
He's asking where can we? Because if we win 2 games in a row, then he's gonna cut his hair as well for the wedding. And I see Danielle's online, so I'm sure she'd welcome that change.
Yeah, look, if it's 5 wins, right, that they need to get, I think I'm safe. I think I'm safe for a few years. We haven't specified whether it's in all comps, but also they won't get all comp. So yeah, it's okay. It's not that. I said, where could we as the neutrals
It's okay.
look
You
for?
don't have to explain yourself. I mean, I just thought
You've
I'll
called
point
me out and I have to call you back. Okay, that's now I've now clearly needed to do that.
While we're calling people out, I think Mubin made a good point about the back line. As far
Yeah.
a lot of talk about the right back situation at Liverpool. There's Frimpong, then they're throwing Szoboszlai in there. There's Bradley. What's your take on the right back situation? What do you want to see from that?
Personally, I don't like Szoboszlai playing in the right back position. Yes, that first 3 games, it was something different. It worked. He did well. But we have 2 good right backs, Frimpong and shit.
Yeah, he's
Lost
good.
my
I
first
can't
name.
even remember his name.
Bradley, Conor Bradley. You got 2 good right backs, so why not use them and keep Szoboszlai in the midfield? Because he's an energetic player. He can run up and down. He's got the pace, he's got the power. Use him there. So I don't know why Slot is stubborn in keeping him at the right back. I don't know if he wants to push that midfield or crowd that midfield, which is probably what he's trying to do. But it's just not working because a lot of the goals or the attacking is coming from that right hand side. And you can see Szoboszlai has been caught out quite a few times. And it just puts more pressure on a weakened Konate. And then you got Van Dijk doing Indian moves with the bums out and that. So I think he's just got to go with the basics. Go with a normal right back, normal centre backs, your normal left back, and then put Szoboszlai in the midfield just to bolster up there. So if you can stick with that, I think there's a good chance for us there.
I think the problem you guys have had now is that there's no consistency in that. Okay, so you've got Van Dijk, Konate, who haven't been the best of form, but that's maybe the only solid pairing that you've had, and then everything else up front has changed. Midfield has changed. So, like you say, if you used to the right back being the weekly, yeah, okay, yeah, this is also. This seems like it's a generational hate here that you have against Trent Alexander. And maybe they haven't replaced him. Maybe they just got a different version of him. But as soon as there's some sort of structure and more stability in that midfield pairing, then I think you start to see it. But it's very hard for players to pick up form. And especially you're caught with players that have big price tags. So you want to let them play themselves into form. But unfortunately, teams are not waiting. They see that there's a vulnerable element to Liverpool, and it's the beauty of the Prem because teams are starting to pick up quicker and actually starting to press you from minute one. So, yeah, if you could possibly pick out a battle over this weekend, and Mubin said front line versus defense, is your feeling the same there, or do you feel that it's maybe your midfield pairing that's going to overpower them, or is it your right wing against their left back? Give me a battle to watch.
I think it's going to be a battle of the midfield. Look, but I think we know how the sorry, man. Sprays comments is horrible, man. I don't know. How can you lie this guy onto the
Okay,
chat room here?
okay. One of these days,
ask
he's
a
just going to
sporting
come out of the
question.
comments and he's going to be on the show.
Nah, I think it's gonna be a midfield battle. I think look, defensively we've been poor. So Sesko hasn't been great. Yes, he's bagged a few goals, but is he gonna really put Van Dijk under a lot of pressure? So I think it's more so the midfield, what midfield slot chooses against what midfield United chooses. So it's Cunha, Bueno. If they're in the midfield, if he chooses McAllister, Gravenberch, which I hope will be fit. I think he picked up a slight knock on international break, but they say he might be fit. And hopefully, if Szoboszlai is in that midfield three, that will be a great battle between for Liverpool against the United midfield three. I think United will probably take Bruno, Bueno, and Cunha. So depending who comes up on top, it'll be interesting to see. And I think that will change the game. United's defense hasn't been great as well. So and both attacking forces have been, I can't say nowhere, but non-existent in a way. So I think it's a midfield battle, and I think the game will be decided there.
Yeah, I think most of Liverpool's excitement from last season, even Jurgen Klopp's time, is you start quickly, you have a lot of pressing, you have a lot of energy in that central midfield, force the errors, get it wide, get it in, and it was quick. I think what slots change maybe in style, in that you first want to get more control of the game. It's kind of lessen that impact, that immediate impact that Liverpool the Liverpool have. Interesting comment from Cape Town Polo Marco, actually one of my friends. If United can hold 0-0 until 60 or 70th, they have a chance. It just takes one chance. It literally, that's all it is, and we'll see probably 7 defenders that finish the game for Man United if they do get that one goal. We've also seen that it's not the easiest thing to defend a 1-0 lead away from home. So yeah, I think let's put our heads on the block here quickly. Let's give some predictions. Zadi, I'm going to start with you. What's your idea? What's your thoughts?
3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool. That's immediate. Like, I didn't even wait for me to start. He gave it
I'm
straight.
prepared. Man.
On all of the discussion, are you still sticking to your thing?
I'm still saying 2-1, yeah. I think as far as right, I mean, like I said, our midfields, we still have major issues there. So they'll probably dominate that area. But I think, like I said, it'll be a tighter affair than in the recent derbies gone past. So I'm still sticking to my 2-1.
2-1 United, yeah. Asfar, are you gonna go
I'm
2-1?
going with my
3-1?
I'm going with my 3-1 win. I think Salah scores, bags 2 goals there, one in that final minute on the counter, and takes his top off, shows his six pack. Natural champion mentality. So I'm going for that 3-1 win. Yes.
Yeah. I think Liverpool players need to be careful about this. Take their top off and get the yellow card thing. Hopefully Salah's a bit smarter than Ekatike. Yeah, if we're saying which player is more likely to get a red card, it's probably Ekatike, isn't it? We're just going to put it there. Let's see that. We're just going to go through a few comments. Actually, before we do comments, let me just give my prediction. I think it's going to be... I actually don't want to be Riaz in this case, but it has all the makings for a high-scoring draw. I think both teams can't defend as well as they previously could, but they have some sort of creative inkling to them. So I'm going a 2-2 draw again. Yeah, we're just going to jump some comments quickly. We've got your super fan here. It's good to see Brother Aziz still standing strong. Mohammed Bray is saying if they play counter-attack football, we're gonna balang. I take it he's what Liverpool fan, eh?
Nah,
Where's
United.
Liverpool?
United,
He's United. He's
United,
United.
United.
They play
But
counter-attack. He's gonna balang. Okay, but
his
that's
age
also
a
what
bit
Man
is
United.
gone a bit senile.
I think he retired when Fergie retired.
Yeah, no, fair
That
play.
too.
We got Sadiq obviously having to make it about Chelsea. This guy can't give it a rest. Like, brother, focus on getting Cole Palmer fit. Okay, but thank you for that first comment, right? Next time Asar's on, that has to be his name. Oh no, that got me. I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna give you that one. Mohammed Bray on your neck, yeah, Asfar. I think you just want to see. I'm gonna leave this now. Last one from him. He's saying optimistically he'll say 2-1 United, but realistically he'll say 2-1 Pool. Understand what you mean. Might be going a bit cheap. Might be going a bit cheap.
See,
Yeah. Look,
that's
guys,
the definition of hedging your bets.
yeah. Okay. That's like, okay, 50 rand here, 50 rand here. Win, win, lose, lose. Yeah, okay. It says you Man United to the end. Let's see. There's also a few other games, but obviously this is the pick of the week. Let us know if you have any other thoughts on the other Super Sunday game, which is Spurs against Villa. Hopefully Ziad
Super
and our
Sunday,
team.
what?
Super Sunday, bro. Imre and
How is
Thomas.
Villa and Spurs Super Sunday?
It's the top six, man. All of the traditional top
The
eight,
leftovers.
rather. Yeah, all of the leftovers are playing, man. So yeah, let's just see how it goes. Hopefully Arsenal get a win. London derby against Fulham would be nice to go into Sunday knowing that we've actually put the ball back into Liverpool's court and see if they can then respond. But yeah, definitely ones to watch. We're now just gonna jump into the little segment we have at the end. Okay, before we go, Ramiz is wanting to talk about goalkeepers. He hopes Lament starts and doesn't mess up. My friend, I'm not sure if you heard of Murphy's Law. You should have maybe just kept this in your diary. You shouldn't have said it out loud because now that you put it into the universe has a funny way of coming back.
But on that quickly, just because he played the last game, right?
Yeah.
How was it for you, Mubin, as a fan, to see him in the polls, and like did it feel different having that keeper instead of Bayinda and Onana? Like, does it make a difference or not yet?
Look, it obviously makes a difference in the sense that if you're signing someone, wasn't big money, but you went out and you said we need a keeper and you signed him. So from that perspective, it was good to see him because I could understand why maybe he sat out the first one, but didn't understand why he wasn't played after that. And then also, I mean, confidence is something that a keeper would probably thrive on. So I think once he went up and took that first sort of ball and dropped down, and everyone went to him and sort of gave him a bit of a nudge here and there and rubbed his head, and keepers feed off that, and then a couple of stops, couple of good takes. He looked solid. Especially for a debut game. So I don't see any reason why he will not be picked on Sunday. I think we paid the money for him. There's different sort of perspectives and thoughts and things around him. We paid the money for him. We got to back him, and it's for him to show that he's up for the number one jersey.
No, that's fair. I think they've also been starved of somebody as a goalkeeper that can just catch the ball and give them a bit of confidence like that. So you could have put Wayne Roberts in there, and Wayne Roberts would have looked like Gigi Buffon. Just because he knew how to catch the ball now. He was also prone to an error. I was at Athens Stadium many a time. He used to make me sweat. I was the stress levels were through the roof. But he would have probably looked like a world-class keeper just because he knew how to catch the ball. And yeah, so interesting to see also how he handles that test. He is the first game at home, front of the home fans. That's good. It's also against Sunderland. not as big of a game. Although they were maybe a bit closer on the log. But now he goes away to Liverpool, which very hostile environment. They'll probably be getting into him. So definitely that might be a key swing for that game. So definitely one to watch. But yeah, we're gonna jump into the last section, and before we started, we're just gonna explain it a bit. And Sadiq, if you're Arsenal here, my friend, give me something. And if you say all Chelsea players, brother, I will report you to YouTube. But essentially, what we're wanting is a longevity five-a-side team, right? So players that have played for an extended period of time in the Premier League specifically, because otherwise, Mubino would have probably put Idris Burton in there. We are looking for guys that have minimum of like, if we're talking journeyman, we're talking like been in the Prem for longer than like 6 years, maybe, right? So that is quite a bit. I don't know how we want to do it. Mubin, do you have anything prepped? Do you have an idea, or can we just do a snake format?
Yeah. Let me go last. Seeing that I was the last minute entry this evening. So
I think Eman Asfar can maybe team up to come up with 5-6 Owens.
No, but then
five
got his team. Asfar got his homework and he completed his homework. So he's going to do it. Now you want Mubin to jump in to get the A.
So it's just based on longevity, nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just guys that have been in the game that have played for, but so I think there might be one commonality in all of ours, and he's still playing right now. Okay, so I'll start. I'm gonna go with goalkeeper, obviously. David James, right? Played for 5 Premier League clubs, played over 500 games. A bit of a character in the sticks. I think he'd be a good fives keeper. Would he be able to do it at Ryland's fives? I don't know. But every other ground, surely. Ziad, I'm going to jump to you.
Yeah, so I do some keepers. David James came up, but I think I'll go with Mark Schwarzer. Fulham. He was in there for a very, very long time. Couple of other interesting candidates, but I'll come back to them for honorable mentions once you go to the others.
No, for sure. Asfar, are you going to say, was it Bruce Grobler?
By the way, Bruce Grobler is a guy that lifted the curse of the 30 years. By the way, if you watch the Liverpool documentary, so he's a legend.
Thanks for telling that. I don't want to watch that. So cheers.
Legends keeper. I actually had a different idea.
Okay.
And I'm not too sure if this is the right answer. But because you said longevity in years in the league, you didn't specifically say if there was different teams. But I'm gonna go with Zadi's favorite keeper, David. Is it Siemens?
Yeah.
Man, turn the man into a cell phone.
Hey?
Turning him into a cell phone, David Seaman. Yeah.
Man, he was a great keeper. I was part of I think he was part of the Invincibles for Arsenal, led by a good team. Great keeper.
Look, you don't have to carry favor with me and Jason. You're already on for 40 minutes.
As soon as you turn him into a cell phone, I said, this is a guy that I can keep around. He's both old school and he's modern as well.
You want to secure a comeback, man?
Yeah. Fair play. Okay, no, that's one. Mubin, give us Fabian Barthez and why.
I actually wanted to say Massimo Taibi just because he had a blind against Liverpool on his debut, but obviously the longevity is lacking.
Kind of the one thing that we need, not about a great first game.
Yeah.
That's a completely different thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jens Lehmann, mainly based on him being a character, being a bit physical, always having a tussle with the opponents. So yeah, I think he'll hold his own at the Islands fives.
I love that. He looks like one of those guys that actually just knock you out and put the lights off, close the gate. So, no, for sure. Yeah, easy. Easy. So if we want to do a snake format, do you have a defender? Do you have two defenders? I I haven't asked any formations yet, but Mobeen, do you want to give us maybe a defender, or if you are going to go two at the back? Because I have two at the back.
Uh, I, I would probably go with one, and then sort of like a guy that's
Okay,
physical
diamond.
enough to,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, to fall back. So, yeah, I didn't even think that far.
Okay, okay.
But
Now then
yeah,
let's leave
you
this
guys
whole
go
snake
first.
format. Think
Yeah,
about it. Yeah,
you
think
guys
about it.
go
I'm gonna come
first.
back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got two defenders. I'm gonna give one to James Milner. I mean, standard, right? He can play anywhere, and he'll be in at that right back position. And that's six clubs still currently playing. Probably going to overtake Gareth Barry's record of, I think it's 670 appearances, something like that. And then because I've got another defender in there, I think I'll just give it now. Because I mean, I've made this game up. I can decide when I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to go with Sol Campbell. So played a lot of his time at Spurs, but then was more successful at Arsenal. Could have wrote you that one.
Controversial transfer, eh?
Yeah. Could have told you that. Also, the way that transfer came about was how transfer should be announced nowadays. Anyway, those are my two defenders. Zadi, maybe you can just give a heads up to the formation if you're going to give one defender or things of that nature.
Now I'm also going two. I'm also going
Okay.
with two. I'll probably go 2-2-1.
Yeah.
But since you took two guys off the board, I think I'll go with John Terry. Obviously at Chelsea for a very long time. And as much as I don't enjoy this, I'm probably going to go with Carragher, who was around for quite a
Ooh.
while. So yeah, man, I don't enjoy him that much, but
Yeah.
I'll go with those two.
Nah, it's decent picks. I mean, also both over 500 easily, and yeah, very pivotal in both of their teams. I think maybe the one more successful than the other, but I mean, football is about the enjoyment of it, isn't it? It's not about winning trophies. Us, as an Arsenal fan, we will tell you it's about how nice football you can play as opposed to the trophies that you can win. As for talk to me, are we going two defenders? You're going one defender? You're going to go diamond?
I got one defender.
Okay, perfect.
Two mids and attack, but my
Okay.
defender, which is probably going to be a surprise here for the minor, but I'm going with Rio Ferdinand.
Ooh.
And I
Nah,
thought
fair.
a lot of people say he was overshadowed by Vidic, but that
Hmm.
combo was a quality combo. And under Fergie, won enough titles, enough matches. So he was my centre back, which I enjoyed watching. Also,
Yeah.
good leader and a no nonsense footballer.
Nah, that's fair. That's fair. Rubin, I'm now circling back to you. You can talk to me. Are you going two defenders, one defender, or
Yeah, I'll probably go two. So I'm gonna go with a no nonsense fossil. If I can call him such, but I'll go with Steve Bruce at the back.
yeah,
Just sort of when I started watching the Premier League, probably coming towards the end of his career at United, but no nonsense type of character like my friends here. He can put in the heat, and you decide if you want to get up or not.
yeah,
And then just to complement him with a bit of stamina and someone with legs that can sort of do the up and down. I'd probably go with Cashley Cole. Adds a bit of variation, being a left footer as well. So that would be my two picks.
Nah, that's fair. Okay, so we've got we've got two defenders in my team, your team, Zadi's team. Asfar has gone with one. So for this next segment where we give some midfielders, we'll each give one. Asfar, you always give two, right? That's just standard, and we'll all end up with our striker. Midfield, I don't think you can look. I mean, there's actually quite a few decent midfielders, but for this one specifically, you have to go for the most obvious one. I think I'm going to go Gareth Barry. We're talking about longevity. He's also played at 4 different clubs. I think he was consistent at all of them. In a game and in an era, in a time period where it was dominated, I'd say by maybe very good right-footed midfielders, you had a really good left footer that was in and amongst that. So I really enjoy that. So I'm going to go Gareth Barry. Zadi, what's happening?
For me, I'm gonna go with two midfielders. It's a bit hard to figure out, but I wanted to try and squeeze in Gary Speed, who played a very long time in the Premier League. Obviously, who passed away not too long ago. So I'll stick Gary Speed in there. And obviously, I knew you would take Barry because that's like the low hanging fruit. So just to make things a bit interesting, I think I'll throw in Phil Neville, who played also a very long time.
No, that's fair. Look, two things. There was actually quite a few midfielders right now, so people wouldn't go for Gareth Barry because there's Lampard, there's Gerrard, there's Scholes, those things. Secondly, do you play fives with six players or what? Do you not
Why?
count your keeper as one? You've got two defenders, two midfielders, a striker, and a goalkeeper, and you have a manager. It's five, my bro.
I'll
it's never that
sacrifice.
deep.
I'll sacrifice my striker. It's alright.
You.
Nah. As far as this is your
We
friend.
go in. We go in with that four, bruh. And then the
This is
manager
your-
can
okay,
sub
nah,
on
fair-
for the Owens. Player
fair play.
manager.
You.
Okay. Nah, fair play.
And also talk about fives. We always play six mana, so that's why.
That's a bit of the issue.
Tired
yeah,
legs.
no,
Exactly.
fair play. Fair play. The guys exposing their fitness levels, perhaps.
Yeah.
That's maybe what it is. As far, give me your two midfielders there quickly.
Okay, I got a bit of favoritism here. Say what you want, but Stevie G had to be in the team no matter what, through thick and thin. One of my all-time favorite players, and probably one of the most loyal players that is out there in the football game. I think even Jose tried to persuade him, but man, stood by his team, and so he's
He
definitely.
stood by his team because the gangsters were outside his house to say, if you go, bro, we're going to kill you. That's
Come
now.
now, let's
Come
not
on.
go into finer details here. The man served the crowd with passion. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a league to show for it, but he showed his passion. And then I actually have James Milner as my other midfielder, by the way, and not as a defender.
No, that's fair.
So another guy from Leeds, moved around many clubs, played for Liverpool, captain Liverpool. So those are my two hardcore midfielders.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, look, it was Leeds, it was Villa, it was Man City, Newcastle, and now Brighton. I mean, Liverpool as well. So that's six clubs. So it's a true definition of longevity, but also a journeyman. Yeah. Mubin, talk to me, mate. Are you going to say...
So
okay.
I'm going to go with a midfielder, but obviously I'm not going to choose a sort of known central midfielder. So I'm going to go with Damien Duff, also a journeyman in the Premier League. I think he was at Blackburn, if I'm not mistaken. We started off and then obviously made his way to Chelsea. Very, very underrated player. Obviously, played in the generation of all the greats that we grew up with. But someone that forged out the career. I mean, coming from Blackburn, I think he had a phenomenal partnership at the time with, I think, a guy called Richard Dunn, central midfielder, I think, and McCarthy was also there at the time. So, yeah, that's my midfielder.
Okay. No, that's fair. Yeah, we're gonna jump to the forwards now. I think Zadie, I'll just give you this one because your friend Mohammed Bray says you have a sub. So I'm also gonna give you a striker.
Right, he's right, because that's how we play. We play with a sub, maybe.
Don't invite me to fives if you're playing 6 man on the team. No? Also, make sure that I must play less because it's not five.
That is one of the key reasons why. It's not about the fitness, it's about the pocket,
Oh,
There's more money, you pay less.
If you had led that it's based on frugality, then I would have said, okay, fine, allow it.
Look,
but this is a fantasy.
The other issue.
The
other issue that we have is Sadiq always says he's gonna play, and then he comes and he stands outside. So you have to account for Mana not pitching up, man.
Okay.
Or being injured. But thank you for allowing me a super sub. After keeping it 0-0 for 80% of the fives game, I'll throw Danny Welbeck on to cause chaos. He's been everywhere. And I think he's in the top 15 for appearances. He's not quite top 10. But I like and the fact that he's still doing well is beyond me. But I thought I'll give him some love and throw him in the squad there.
No, that's fair. What is it? United, Arsenal, Watford, Brighton, right? Those are the four? Or is there something else also that I've missed? Maybe. But either way, guaranteed to get your goals as long as his hamstrings and his knees allow him.
Yeah.
And good for a liquor celebration also, you know.
Good for a liquor celebration. Yeah. What a servant to the game. I've got Emil Heskey. 5
I knew
clubs
it.
as well. What do you mean you
And how's
knew
your
it,
team gonna score goals, my bro? That man in a fives game, that man's
brother?
first touch will kick the ball almost out of play every time.
You know
Every
how
time he
many
tries to
CET
control it, the
goals he will
goalkeeper of the
score off
other
the
team will
wall?
get it.
Nah,
Yeah, because
off
the
the board,
space is
they
much
come.
more. That man
That
probably has
guy.
the worst first touch of a pro footballer in history.
Yo, there was a lot of players in history, and you've now said he's got the worst. I'd like to see a bar graph of some sort to back up your claim, but I also will allow it. Yeah, I just went to Heskey just because he's been in there for so long. I think he did it at all the clubs that he was at, so I'm fine with that. I'll take the low hanging fruit. It means I don't need to stretch too much. As far, give me your striker. Talk to me.
Yeah, the striker is actually very tough, no?
Mm.
Because I have a lot of favorite strikers in the Premier League, but I went
Yeah.
with a very controversial character here, very low lying striker Andrew Cole, played for United. Quiet guy, put the ball in the net, done his job. So yeah, that was my striker to put that ball in the box, finish the game off against Zari's defensive team.
Nah, that's fair. That's fair. Ashley Cole's going to be bombing up that wing there, so there's always a gap. One of the Coles is going to profit that game. So let's see which one it's going to be. Mubin, talk to me.
I
In
I
vinegar
want to
or
give
whiskey?
I want to I want to give my colleague Asfar one back because he obviously chose Andy Cole, and I want to tell him Abu Bakar Titi Kamara, but I'm not mad. Um, I'd go sing that Sunderland has obviously came up and they've had a decent start to the season. I'm gonna go Kevin Phillips.
Ooh. Yo.
Also, I mean, during his long tenure at the Stadium of Light, ups and downs, was probably the shining light at Sunderland and kept him up for many a season. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was also a one man club guy. You guys can correct me as far as I know. So stalwart of the game, bagged many a goal in a sort of bottom end team in the Premier League for many years. So, but a consistent performer.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I think that would be a legit fives tournament now. You just put those teams there, take it to Canal Walk, make it happen. I think we'll have some good things. We've got one comment, and this is how I know Mohammed Brace, Ziad's friend. 6 players: Schmeichel, Vidic, Scholes, Essien, Drogba, and Rooney. Right? My question to Mohammed Bray, who is the sub player? Yeah, yeah. He said who's Cody Gap or what's it? Gapco. But who the hell is Schmiegel?
Schmeichel from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so you have
Yeah,
Schmiegel in the
Schmeichel.
as the goalkeeper. But okay, very decent team. Just a red and blue team there. You can see you're also a Man United fan. We also had, while we were going at it with this longevity thing, we had another prediction come in just a little bit later. And I think
It was
this
a
might be,
raucous one.
yeah, this might be a bit of a FIFA thing, right?
Yo,
Big Bob Joy Love. Firstly, yeah, what a name. This is how I know this is FIFA. Isak Hattrick.
exactly.
That's when I knew it, right? Then you got, okay, this maybe because it actually did happen before. This also, I don't think the guy scored a hat-trick in his career ever. And then Virgil to just pop up. So that's gonna be let's see. I don't think
Oh,
we'll
that is
touch silver
wild.
nil again. So 10-0 might be pushing it a bit, but thank you for that, Big Bob Joy Love. Yeah, we've got We've got a few more comments here. I think Mohammed Bray is not understanding the word of longevity. Mokai the
Someone,
second game, he scored the goal and he was shipped off.
Ew.
Yeah, so maybe for best debuts, if we have that segment, 100%.
Was it against Sunderland, huh?
Aston Villa, I think.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, we scored in it. It was 2-0 to Villa, and then you guys came back. I think Walbeck scored that game, actually. And then he ran to his friend there by the tunnel and all those things.
It was a match
Riaz
winner.
Parker saying Ferdinand Cole, Lampard, Defoe. Okay, also one of your friends, guys. It's a 5 team, not a 4. And
We
maybe
didn't
we
get
have
4.
He had Howard as an earlier comment.
Okay. I thought this was the ref.
Yeah, what we
Yeah.
Howard Webb.
Yeah, he's got Howard Webb in the polls, and then he's listed a few other guys there. This is Cole. This could be a very formidable team. I think Defoe is also one of the underrated guys.
Yeah.
Did it
I'm
well.
surprised no one has JJ or Kocha in there.
So nice they named him twice. What was his longevity like? I mean, he was Bolton, right? And that was it.
Bolton, yeah, I think he was Bolton through and through. I think he came from one of the French clubs, no? PSG or one of those.
PSG. Yeah.
What about the manager? What's happening with that?
Oh yeah. So we can do let's do managers, and then maybe we just look at a quick honorable mention. So mine has to be the guy that used to manage with the earphone in Big Sam. Low hanging fruits, yeah. With this players that I've got, this is like I will win every game 1-0, and I'm fine with it. As far were you able to get the manager involved there, or?
Yeah, I went to the manager that probably saved so many teams from relegation, but also got them in the relegation. I'm going with you went with Big Sam, no? What is it? Oh no, shit.
Small Sam.
Yeah.
That's why I had the noise cancelling on while you were talking.
Yeah.
No, okay. Go with Big Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
That's fine. That man's gonna get 2 salaries and he's gonna gamble it away, I'm convinced. Zadie, what do you have there?
Okay.
And don't say Mushin Integral, because then I'm gonna fight you.
If I'm sticking with my plan of saving money, right? You know,
okay.
I was explaining that earlier. Once Steve Bruce is finished playing for Mubin's team, he can just come over and manage my team because he was there already. Right? So he's was already at the Fives venue.
No, that's fair.
No, but I mean, look, obviously Wenger and Ferguson, those two are the easy picks. But I thought I'll keep it a bit more interesting and go with Harry Redknapp, who's quite an interesting character, managed for a long time. Good for a story and a quote or two. So I want to have fun, man. You know, Wenger's going to be too serious. You know, you want the man to come 30 minutes before to warm up, and they can't grab a diet on the way, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll skip him. Ferguson, he will fight with people. Yeah. He'll probably knock a few guys out on his way to the court. So
probably bring Howard Webb with him.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
And then when the man want to close the facility, he want Fergie time. So the lights must stay on. So, you know, just keep it simple. Harry Redknapp, man of the people.
But that works perfectly for you, right? Because Harry Redknapp doesn't go anywhere without Nico Krankjo. So now you're actually getting an extra player. So that now your 60 is now 7 aside. Plus you've got Harry Redknapp's best player that he's ever managed, Nico Krankjo.
There's always a brother that sticks out.
Exactly. You need to make your WhatsApp group strong, man, because man pull out last minute. Ask us to
want to play for the Fives, but want to hog the ball the most. Oh god, this guy didn't want to give a manager.
It's like Bean disappeared now. Now if he was on my team, which he normally is in Fives, I'd need a sub or something. So you know,
I think
this
he's
is just my
left to go put a comment in the chat. I think he's left now. He's gonna join the chat again. Yeah. Now, honestly, look, this is all just funny games, but thanks for those who let us know. Some interesting teams, and I think we can make a case for a lot more players. Honorable mentions. You and Phil Neville, right? I was gonna go John O'Shea because I think he also had a bit of a long run there.
I throw Shay Given in there also at a long run.
Yeah, I actually had Shay Given there. Seamus Coleman, who I think he's still playing, but I thought if I said that, then you'd have said that's very low hanging fruit. Somebody like I don't know if it's Prem specific, probably not. So I can't go Lewis Dunk, but I mean he's been at Brighton for close to 15 years and he's played all the way up. So yeah, it's just that he hasn't probably played Prem as much. So yeah, you can't do that. Mubin, you had dipped just as we were talking about Fergie, so maybe you went to go cry because you missed the guy. Who is your longevity manager?
I'm gonna go in. I like old school. I like the old Premier League. So I'm gonna go. Was it George Graham that managed Charlton? Again, did quite well to sort of keep them sort of at between mid-table for a consistent period. So yeah, I'd go with him. I think he also sort of he battled with was it cancer or something towards. I'm not sure if he passed on, but I think that's why he left managing.
Yeah. I think he's still going strong.
Yeah, I think he left to manage football because of that. But yeah, that would be my pick.
Okay, nah, fair man. That's fair. Yeah, Riaz Parker saying Cranky and Crouchy to follow Redknapp 100%.
But I'm also thinking about the content, right? So Redknapp content, Crouchy got a podcast.
Yeah,
Welbeck's good value for content. My bro, I'm looking after everything.
Looking after the future.
Yeah, you've gone for the multifaceted model when we're just here for 5
Yeah, because you said longevity, so I'm thinking post.
Yeah, no, but I'm telling now first team out of the tournament, yours. You and then
that's
all
fine.
The content,
after
then
we get knocked out, then we can talk about everyone else. So it again works out.
No, okay.
Don't forget.
I might even and Phil Neville and Gary Neville are brothers, right? So when Phil gets knocked out, Gary's there to support. So you also grab a mic and start commentating and what. So we sorted, bro. This 5 will wreck that whole Sunday. No one will leave. Even after your team get knocked out, you'll stay for the entertainment. I'm keeping the money there so they can spend the money on the Boerewors and the what to raise funds. That's the purpose of the 5s.
Yeah, no,
50%.
Yeah. I got an assistant coach. I'm adding my assistant coach to Big Sam.
That's man serious about winning.
We're going with the guy with Alan Pardew because if Big Sam doesn't last one game, we bring Alan Pardew to save us, bro.
So Big Sam gets him close to relegation. Alan takes over, saves them, and the cycle just goes the whole way around.
All the way, bro.
There's a couple of other guys, like on a serious note. Mark Hughes had a very long managerial career, and he was actually really good. A pity he got into City, just when the money came and they got rid of him. But I thought he did fairly well as a manager. And then, guys, we're overlooking the number 1, David Moyes. He's been in the league forever.
Moyes is
still going strong. Roy Hodgson. So a couple of guys there with the longevity. Quite interesting that they were still. I mean, Hodgson retired, came back. Finally went home now. But interesting.
Nah, that's fair. Boys, it's been a real one. Thank you very much, Asfar. You've jumped in. You've brought your energy. The chat confirmed you're not a bot. It's the same energy in the chat as you are live, which is great. Are you on any socials? Can the people interact with you? Or must I just wait for every Wednesday at 7 to kind of get some content?
The socials are not as active as it used to be. So we'll wait for that comment. The champ is here. And that's where we get the show.
Now, I actually hid as far behind the paywall. I don't think people deserve, they must earn the right to engage with him.
Fair play.
It's a privilege that you have as a person to be able to call on him, on WhatsApp. So we'll keep him. We'll bring him out here in stages for people to get exposure. But too much of a good thing is also bad, man. So we'll just we'll manage his workload.
Different streams of income here. You like his manager, his talent manager. We're gonna let him out of the room there, and I can go live again.
Yeah.
Now,
Next week
someone
again.
said he's in the closet, right? So I must
Yeah.
make sure he gets timed out
Slowly.
of there appropriately.
Nah, fair play. Boys, it's been real. Yeah, to everybody in the chat, thanks for the interaction tonight. It was good. It was exciting. Let's see if the 10-0 thing comes. Maybe Big Boy Joy, maybe change the setting on FIFA. You are allowed to do that. Yeah.
But look here,
Follow us.
Jason. Any
Yuna.
last words as Mr. Ronnie before you change your name to Jason October? You know,
Yo,
any
J.O.
last?
J.O. Yeah. Not that anybody cares, right? But this is the last episode I'll be doing before I joined the Married League next week.
Good luck.
Yeah, see, that's
Good
why we
luck,
couldn't
you.
have
Good luck.
Riaz on the show. So you have three
Oh, yeah.
married men to welcome you to the group.
Yeah. No, fair play. Fair play, Riaz. That is your brother. That's why he said you must do that. But yeah, I will be back in a few weeks' time. We'll get married. We do a bit of honeymoon, and then yeah, I'll be back. But I'll be following along. And
You mean
all
by
of the
mid next year?
yeah, potentially
I
not.
don't.
Thanks.
These oaks didn't give you the proper memo.
No. I think that memo that you gave back in the day, I think it's still ringing my ear, and I'm still not gonna
Yeah.
listen to it. So yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
No, baby is not gonna happen immediately, guys. Okay, thanks. I'm still I'm gonna be a young married man. But yeah,
Jason, send regards to your father. Eh? Tell him.
no,
Some of
100%.
my favorite
100%.
players.
Yeah, next week maybe he's one. Maybe next week he's one. Yeah, nah, shot. I'm sure when I walk down in my house here, I'll see him and he'll ask, "Who's Aswar? How does he know me?" And I must explain. Everybody knows Aswar. Aswar is the guy. It's in the closet.
My bro,
it sounds.
as far as Santos's history on his wall there behind him, he knows
here.
all the people from
Look here,
start to finish, bro.
When you coach with Keith America, you get to hear the stories and you get to
Okay.
know all these guys.
Great
That's
Keith
why.
America. The great Keith America. Yeah,
You see.
coach me at the under 15 level. So yeah, okay.
Oh.
No, this guy's got hair on his neck. 100%. He's got it there. But yeah, as I was saying before Ziad interrupted me, follow us at Sportycast. We are on all social media platforms. And yeah, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. Share the video, like the video. And yeah, if from next week you guys want to start spamming with some marriage advice, you can find me on the socials. I'm not going to give my at, but if you find me, please give me your best advice. Leave your worst advice for Riaz. Okay. Cheers. It's been real. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.